Okay, so one technique that gives a lot of people problems is dominating circles. I really like this technique. It can work for a right cross push is most typical, right cross push to the right shoulder. Can also work for a cross grab, although I would argue that might be a little bit more atypical. So it's typically taught for a right cross push. And on that initial push really hard, Scott, I can step back, but I can also step forward. And that becomes an angle of least resistance. But we've got to remember the rule, and that is when we are on the outside of the arm, we don't want to block at the wrist, we want to block, that's right, I'll eat that. We want to block at the elbow. So just go slow first. I'm just going to parry this. Now most typical is I go to a cat as I claw down the face. And he's going to try to stay up. As I palm, I drop that right foot back into my left forward bow. Okay, so if I slow this down, I went, okay, one, circle and claw, and as that palm hit, I go to my forward bow and I disturb his balance. One thing to think about is, this is kind of most typical of that cat stance, is as my right foot basically does the same as my right leg. So I'm doing an outward elbow going down, but as I do that, my right leg does the same. So just watching the air, I went one, look how they work together. But generally speaking, even though that's easy and I trap his arm and I claw his face, a cat stance isn't the most stable stance. So what I'm saying, we go slow and I go, okay, one, if I don't get this claw in before I step back, my balance can be compromised. So this can also be done exact same way, but I'll go to a horse stance on that second move. In other words, I go, okay, parry, and I claw, and I'm in a horse. So I'm stable in my stance, as opposed to the cat, where I trap his arm and I'm a little bit more off balance. So if you think of this one more time, parry this, I'll go to the horse, wham, and I claw. Now when I palm, I drop that foot back and I go to my forward bow. So I have more stability. And if you do the latter, which is not taught as much, I'm going to show you a little parallel. So dominating circles, I parry, circle to the horse, drop back and palm, and then you think, okay, I step to my right for the horse, right? So I went one, step to my right, and then I drop back and do my, here's the hint, tripping arrow to 12. Whereas in tripping arrow, I step to the left of the horse, get the palm in, and I do that same motion towards 9. So you've got a link and a parallel there between tripping arrow and dominating circles, which is actually part of the reason why they go back to back in long form 3. So if I go back to this, and do the cat, which is more typical, or the horse. I go at the elbow, trap, and as I palm, I strike. Now I'm going to switch my angle on you so you can see these neck strikes. I'm going to go over here to Scott. So he does the cross push, go at the elbow, I claw. I'm in the cat, but I could have also done, remember, the horse version. Either one you can practice. So we go 1, 2. Now as I palm, I'm going to trap down, go to my twist stance, and what I'm doing is I'm pushing on his head and turning him. Now, rather than committing both arms to this, his only hope at that point, if there's any fight, because his head's been over, is to shoot for my legs. So if I try this area, you can see it again. So what I said is I parried and I went wham, and I got to this, boom, got this strike, and wham, got this strike. But again, when I go to here, if I commit both, you can shoot for my legs. Boom, down I go. So one way to stop that is to push down on their head, control their head, and use your dominant, typically your right arm, to get the arm behind the back in the hammer lock. So if we switch again, watch the difference, guys. 1, 2, wham, strike, bump. Turn this, and look how I'm pushing on his head. So as I rip this out of socket and shuffle, wham, and then I leap up, and I knee to the back of the head to finish it. Okay, we'll do it once on this angle with the push down on the head. As we always say in Jiu-Jitsu, if you can control the head and the neck, control the whole body. So you go 1, 2, wham, 3, turn this, pull it out of socket, and leap up, and knee to the back of the head, Very dangerous technique, dominating circles.